I want to say a very big welcome to everyone that just joined us. We'll be starting in the next 2 minutes. All right. So, good evening, esteemed guests. Please, can you hear me? You can just indicate if you can hear me. All right. Thank you. Good evening, esteemed guests and potential investors. I'm Obi Amanda, Head of HR at Bitsumi Africa, and I am thrilled to welcome you to the final round of our pre-seed stage funding forum. Tonight, we are not just discussing investments, we are talking about solutions. We are here to introduce an opportunity that aligns profit with purpose, tackling one of Nigeria's most persistent challenges, unreliable power supply. At Collabo.ng, we believe in collaboration, innovation, and financial empowerment. Our SolarVest investment model provides a practical approach to making solar energy more accessible, breaking down the barriers of high upfront costs, and driving widespread adoption. Now, why are we here? Nigeria's power situation remains a bottleneck to growth. And while solar energy presents a viable alternative, affordability is a major hurdle. Our goal with SolarVest is to change that narrative. By pooling resources, we enable everyday Nigerians to access clean, sustainable power while creating profitable investment opportunities. Through this initiative, we welcome investment from all walks of life. Investors from all walks of life, students, entrepreneurs, professionals, retirees, and even international stakeholders who seek sustainable and high yield opportunities. Tonight, we have a lineup of insightful speakers who will share their expertise and provide clarity on our model. Our first speaker, Mr. Edmond Mose, CEO of Bitumi Africa and the team lead at Collabo.ng, a visionary leader dedicated to driving innovative financial solutions. Our second speaker, Mr. Bernard Onum, a financial analyst, bringing deep insights into the economic potential of our investment structure. And our last speaker, Barrister Kasarachi Lekwawa. I hope I got that right. Our legal and compliance experts, ensuring our corporations align with regulatory standards and investor security. Now, with their perspectives collectively, it will help us understand the impact, the feasibility, and safeguards in place of opportunity. With that, let's just dive straight into the questions. Our first question is to Mr. Edmond Mose, the team lead CEO BTU Africa. So, Mr. Edmond, can you tell us what Collabo.ng is about and why are we here tonight?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Just a quick check to be sure everyone is hearing me. Can everyone hear me, please? Okay. But can everyone see me? Hello. Yeah, good evening, everyone.
I hear you.
My name is Edmond Mose. I am the CEO B2Me Africa and the team lead of Collabo.ng. And it's a privilege, it's a pleasure to have us all here and have the opportunity to present what we are presenting to you guys. Okay. Um, to talk about why we are here, I would like to start from the beginning. B2Me Africa, previously known as B2Me Nigeria Limited, was founded in May 2017 with the intention to help individuals build wealth using financial instruments. At that point, we were operating in the crypto space. However, fast forward to 2024, where we rebranded to Beauty Me Africa to be able to accommodate more um, financial activities. We rebranded as a financial service company spanning across general investments, investment advisory, currency exchange, and a lot of them. Um, at this point, we decided, I and my team, after rigorous works, after putting the works and rigorous planning, and we came up with we came up with Collabo.ng. Collabo.ng is a product of B2Me Africa. Um, Collabo.ng, as the name entails, it's a community of individuals that come together to go into similar investments, and at the end of the day, we share this profits amongst the individuals according to their intending, according to their contribution made. Pardon me. In Collabo.ng, we are an inclusive community. And when I mean inclusive community, I mean we span across individuals from all walks of life, spanning from students making savings to professionals to businessmen and salary earners, foreign investors, and the likes of them. In Collabo.ng, we work in line with our overall vision of B2Me. Like I mentioned initially, that we tend to build the wealth of individual, foster economic growth, and add value to their lives. And also, our mission is to build a vibrant community where individuals can collaboratively invest in diverse opportunities and share profits. These opportunities, um, these opportunities span from agriculture to transport to real estate to oil and gas, aviation, and also energy. We have our pioneering project called Collabo SolarVest, where we go into SolarVest investments. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edmond, for that overview. Okay, can you tell us about Collabo.ng? Can you tell us about the Solar Vest model, sorry, and what does it entail?
Okay, yeah, I was about getting there. Um, like I mentioned initially, SolarVest is one of the products that we intend to go into, or we want to go into, in Collabo.ng. SolarVest is just an avenue where investors meet solar projects. The real truth of the matter is that solar projects are quite expensive to execute, but with SolarVest, we are enabling individuals go into these projects even with as little as what they have. Okay. In this phase of SolarVest, we intend to raise a total sum of 30 million naira with a minimum investing capital of 100,000 naira. Like I mentioned, 30 million naira, the minimum capital of 100,000 naira. Okay. These funds are actually supposed to be pooled together as a community or collectively. We intend to pool these funds together and go into solar projects. It might be quite enormous to come from a particular member of the community or a partner in question, but collectively as a community, we can do this without stress. And at the end of the day, we make profits, and every member of the community that invested in this project goes with a cut based on their sharing, based on their contribution, pardon me. So having put a lot of effort to design to get a solution to this, SolarVest came up with two packages. We call them Safe to Own and the Pay Small Small. For Safe to Own, we devised a system, or we are devising a system under Safe to Own, where we're devising a system under Safe to Own where members get to stipulate a particular sum. Members get to stipulate a particular sum on a monthly base or whatever duration of their choice. And at the end of the day, when they get to that target, we install the solar system for them. But in Pay Small Small, the funds pooled together in this first phase of SolarVest is what we'll use to finance Pay Small Small. And in Pay Small Small, members get these investments. In Pay Small Small, members get these funds. In Pay Small Small, members get these funds to them, and we install the solar system for them in advance in Pay Small Small. We install the solar system for members in advance after they've gone through their vetting process and they are successful. We install this to them, and afterwards they make their repayments in installments with a maximum of 12 months. Okay. So we are offering partners a lot of things, but I'll only mention a few. First of all, partners happens to be, they would stand to be pioneer members of the community. And as pioneer members, they have the opportunity, or should I say, their voice matters. Let me put it that way. As pioneer members, their voice matters. Being pioneer members, they get first-hand information on what we're about to execute in the community. They can air their view on this project or even suggest certain projects we can go into. Okay. Aside that, we are also offering as high as 31%, depending on their invested capital and the duration of their choice. Okay. I also want to draw to our attention that in Collabo SolarVest, you're not just investing to make a return, you're also making direct impact investments. It's direct impact because you get to touch a lot of lives. It makes you're in the market of making people more comfortable. You understand? Making people more comfortable and making lives better, which is in the overall vision of Bitume Africa. And in as much as we are operating with tangible assets, it presents us with little or no risk. In this case, the assets are the solar facilities. So in the case of default, or in the case of market conditions, we can highly bank on these facilities because they are highly insured and can be recovered. Okay. Also, I would like to draw to our attention that SolarVest is actually open to income earners. Income earners, I mean, is salary earners and business owners. Salary earners and business owners that have a trackable income. It can be stated through their financial statements or their bank account statements. So these are the people liable or eligible, eligible for these investments, for this phase of SolarVest. Currently, we are operating in Abuja, and we intend to expand to Lagos, Port Harcourt, Enugu, and Benin City within a span of 6 months. Okay, lastly, like every other business, like every other venture, SolarVest has its risks and mitigations. It has its risks that we have carefully thought through and came up with certain mitigations to it. First, in the case of default by off-takers, members that have successfully passed their vetting process would make an initial deposit, a minimum of 30%. This 30% stands as a collateral. It can serve as a collateral because we offer no refund policy, no refund to the initial deposits and even the installment payments that has been made. So in the case of defaults by off-takers, we can easily reacquire or repossess these facilities and give it to an interested off-taker that is willing to pay to continue its usage. Okay, so with this, we are able to mitigate defaults by off-takers. And also, this will be highly or largely explained by the financial analysts that will be coming up after me, but we are going to do a form of rigorous vetting. The process is very rigorous and very deep to ensure that we do not have anyone on board that would have a high tendency of defaulting. We also make sure that our facilities are under warranty by the manufacturers. So in that case, any issue that comes, any damage that comes to this facility is covered. And we are also working with CFC Insurance Company to insure this asset, to insure this facility against theft. This is all we have on the SolarVest model. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edmond, for that very detailed answer. My next question is, what inspired the creation of SolarVest and how does it align with Collabo.ng's overall vision?
Oh, all right. This is very, very straightforward. Majority of us on this meeting, and even those that would watch the recordings of this meeting, would either majority of us are in Nigeria or have experienced Nigeria one way or the other. I would like to say that electricity issue has been a long-lasting issue in this side of the world. A lot of people find it difficult to access this, to access electricity, of which solar system or solar energy has given a lot of opportunity, because wherever there is a problem, they pose a solution that can be very lucrative if you look at it from the business standpoint. Um, what inspired us to go into SolarVest is the fact that solar energy being a solution to this, also the cost of acquiring the solar energy has made it difficult for most people that are affected by um, unreliable power supply. It has made it difficult for these people to access the solar system. Okay. Um, and also electricity, the electricity sector in Nigeria has, with time, is becoming more expensive to an average in Nigeria. I would say um, just the figures from last year alone, that's 2024, we recorded a lot of the national grid collapse that led to partial or total blackout in some parts of the countries. And also we saw aspects where the federal government increases this tariff, the electricity tariff, at different succession last year. And we have one currently ongoing where there is about 66% increase in the tariff plan. So it's actually making the electricity cost, the cost of electricity in Nigeria, to be quite expensive. Although solar system appears like a cheap form of electricity, when you look at the grand scheme of things, I'm referring to the fact that once installed and maintained properly, this facility lasts for as long as 10 years. If you look at it in that grand scheme, it appears that solar system or solar energy is a very viable and cheap form of energy. However, that initial cost made it impossible, or is making it impossible for a lot of people to achieve or to get the system. So I would say what propelled us into this, aside the financial remunerations to it, is the fact that it is impacting lives of both the members and non-members of this community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edmond. My next question: how does Collabo.ng ensure transparency and accountability in managing investors' funds?
Thank you very much, Amanda, for this question. Actually, it is written all over the project. It is written all over this model. Collabo SolarVest is very transparent to the core because it does not deal with liquid cash. It doesn't deal with tangible cash like other forms of loan. In this case, we're talking about assets. We're talking about investment backed with a physical, tangible property. So one way we would ensure that this is transparent, and we ensure that investors' funds are safe, is to make sure that we purchase these investments upon collection. We purchase these properties. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay. So sorry, I had a little technical issue. Like I was saying, from the collection of funds down to the execution, it has a lot of paper trail, and with this paper trail, we get to control and make sure that there is nothing lying idle That's to start with. And we also intend to give a weekly newsletter to investors and partners. And in this case, we get to update them with the happenings in the project, the things faced in the field, and how we're able to tackle them, and a lot of other things. So investors and partners get to feel as part of the project. They get to own it by themselves. We just happen to be the people out of the field executing things. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edmond. Now, the last question. What are the short-term and long-term goals for Solar Vest project?
Okay, short-term and long-term goals. Currently, we have already built the model for SolarVest, so that is already ongoing per se. What is just left is to fuel it. So that could be tagged as our short-term goal. However, in the case of Safe to Own, we are still working on building a very user-friendly platform to execute these prospects. The platform will be hosted on our website, www.collabo.ng, which is already running. It's up and running. However, the Safe to Own feature has not been introduced. We intend to do that within a span of 3 months. Okay. For the long-term aspects, currently we are working with partners to ensure the procurement and installation of this solar system. However, we are not a solar company. We are actually we are presenting or standing as a financial service company. But the long-term goal in the energy sector, I would say, is for us to be able to, the long-term goal in the energy sector is for us to be able to procure this facility by ourselves, even down to a form of manufacturing these facilities ourselves. Okay, that is one goal. Another is for us to operate in all the cities, major cities in this country to start with. All right. So I would these are the goals we have on a long-term base and the short term. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Edmond, for the in-depth knowledge and insights you've provided for us as regarding Solar Vest. We really appreciate. So we'll be moving on to our next speaker, our second speaker. Okay, we're not going to take so long with the speakers because we'll also take in questions and comments from other investors and potential partners present. So, Mr. Bernard Onum, do I have you here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, thank you very much. So, Mr. Bernard Onum, I've introduced him before. He's our financial analyst, and he's going to be bringing deep insights into the economic potential of our investment structure. Welcome, Mr. Bernard.
Thank
you. Thank you. My first question to you, can you explain how the 31% return on investment is structured and what factors influence it?
Okay, so investors can earn up to 31% on investment, but I prefer to call it share of profits. So the structure is designed so that the larger the investment amount and the longer the duration, the higher the potential returns. So the range is from 9% to up to 31%, and the minimum investment is from 100,000 naira up to the total sum of 30 million. And something else I want to add is that returns are not paid out periodically. The returns are only paid out exclusively at the conclusion of the choosing investment period. Let's say, for instance, you decide to go for a 6 months plan. It is at the end of the 6 months plan that your principal and your interest you've earned will be returned to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bernard. The second question: what financial safeguards are in place to ensure investors receive their promised returns?
Okay, so Mr. Edmond had listed a lot of them earlier in his presentation. So to ensure the security and success of our investment model, we have implemented multiple safeguards. First of all, it starts from the very detailed vetting process. So in the anybody here can just go to the site and check. You will see that you have to give us a report from a registered credit company. So let's say, for instance, you go to credit bureau and you give us your credit history. We use that to run some analysis and we'll know if you're credit worthy. If you are a business, we need your financial statements for a period. So the vetting process is very rigorous. So after that, if you scale through the vetting process now, there's a mandatory down payment, which is minimum of 30%, as the team lead had mentioned earlier. You must give us that down payment. It is sort of a collateral. So after that now, we plan to insure all of these assets. So, like he explained, all of these solar equipments are coming with warranties, but we don't have warranties that cover theft. If, for instance, these things are stolen from our off-takers' homes, so we have insurance that covers theft. So we the investors and the off-takers do not lose on this thing. Going further, to mitigate against the risks of, oh, I forgot to do the transfer, oh, and all of that, we are incorporating a technology which is similar to what Netflix and EasyBuy and a lot of them do. Is that at a particular date of the month agreed by both of us, your your the due amount, principal and interest due for that particular month, is automatically deducted from your account to our account. Yes, so that's another safeguard. And also we have the should I say the right to reclaim our assets in the case of severe default. Maybe the next speaker, the lawyer, will throw more light on this one when he comes up. So let's say, for instance, we install for you and your rate of default now is too much. We have the right to go and take our assets back. It will be in the agreement. You will know, all of the off-takers will know this beforehand. So it will, I'm sure it will not come to them as a shock when it happens or when we now say give us our assets back. So these are the measures that we've put in place to provide a robust framework to protect both the investors' funds and the integrity of the whole program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bernard, for giving us that clarity. Okay, my next question is: given the economic climate in Nigeria, what makes SolarVet a viable and sustainable investment option?
Okay, so like the team lead mentioned again, because he actually covered a lot in his presentation. We already know the figures. We already know that the power sector is a $1 billion sector, and Nigeria is lagging way behind. So we know the problem that this thing causes for a lot of homes, a lot of businesses, and all of that. Every Nigerian wants to have that opportunity to be able to generate his own power, to be independent. The only problem that people have, that we can all agree here, is the cost and all of this. So that is where we come in. Our solution now is addressing the cost. So that is why, first of all, if you are part of the whole Collabo community, these are the perks, these are the things you enjoy. Our solution now is to help our members in the community, the Collabo community. We are helping you get accessible and affordable power so that you can be free from all of the problems in your house or in your business at the same time also helping other members in the community with what I want to call idle funds to put it into something viable, something that has this much social development capacity, and also still get a return from it. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Bernard. I think we found a way to cheat this economy as Nigerians. My next question to you, how does collabo.ng balance profitability for investors while ensuring affordability for the off-takers? Should I come again?
No, I got the question.
All right, thank you.
So yeah, so like I've been hammering for some time now about the whole Collabo family. Yes, and like the team lead said, how the whole Collabo name came about is we coming together to grow and all of that. So the answer to your question is very simple. Our Collabo family is more than just an investment platform. It's a community dedicated to mutual growth and sustainable progress. We can all agree that the returns we are promising, the rates are competitive. They are really competitive, but they are not the very best. They are not the highest out there. And at the same time, the returns, sorry, the loan interest are intentionally lower than what we can get there. So maybe at the end of the presentation, the team lead will maybe drop a slide of the the range of the interest and the all of that, so you can see what I'm talking about. So even the loan interests are intentionally lower than lower than what you get from maybe commercial banks. Maybe if you want to go and get a loan like this, but we did all of this for a reason, and the reason is to make solar power accessible and affordable, to encourage more people to transition to cleaner energy. So by investing with us, you are not only earning a solid return, but you're also contributing to a larger mission of empowering individuals and businesses. So now the balance of the competitive returns that I mentioned earlier and the social impact and the environmental sustainability, all of these three things is what makes our investment model truly stand out from any other thing you see out there. So for us, it's not about the financial gains. It's being part of a movement, a community that drives positive change for Nigeria's energy future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Bernard. Okay, before we hear from our next speaker, I just want to encourage us, if we have questions um or clarifications or comments, you could put it on the chat box or just save it somewhere. We're going to give room for that. Thank you. So we're going to be hearing from our next speaker, Barrister Kasarachi Likwawa, the legal and compliance expert. Barrister Kasarachi, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, my questions. My first question: what legal framework supports Colavest investment model, and how does Collabo.ng ensure compliance? Should I come again?
Okay, no problem. I think I got the question. You're asking the
Thank
legal
you.
frameworks that supports the solar vest investment model and how we're ensuring compliance. So,
Exactly.
I mean, as external solicitors to the organization as legal advisors, I think in setting up this framework, we understand, like they've said, this is a community and it's been registered. It's a properly registered and documented cooperative society, because that's the model that it is running at the moment. So subscribers are members of the cooperative, which is registered and licensed, in Abuja, Nigeria, to be able to operate, to cover membership even beyond Abuja. So it's registered properly under the, Nigerian Cooperative Society Registration Act. So that's the legal framework. So just as we know, as other cooperatives, maybe occupational cooperatives, organizational cooperatives, for example, I would say, okay, like an NMPC, staff cooperative society, how they come together, and then they make contributions, and then they also have their members able to take loans from the pool of investment, and they have these deductions that they take from the salaries of their cooperative members monthly and all of that, and they can engage in real estate, housing, mass housing for their members. That's the kind of framework that is being replicated here. The only difference is that the members of the community are not necessarily working in one organization. And then the second difference, like if you have a parent or a relation who belongs to a cooperative, you know that for every time they make their contributions to the cooperative, their deductions, they are paid interest in quotes for their funds. But maybe because there are a lot of members, they don't really know what the executives put their money into. Maybe the executive invest in treasury bills, bonds, purchase properties, and all of that, and loan to even other members that need money. But all they just care about is the return on investment. So that's what we're doing. But this one, we let our members know what project we are going into with their funds. And that project is the solar vest. There are other models of things that members of this the cooperative will be engaged in. A time will come, we'll move it into housing, real estate, logistics, and all of that. But we're starting with solar. So yes, the answer to the question is that there has been due diligence. There is a complete constitution. There is a composition of membership. At least minimum of 20 people were required to register their IDs, means of identification, location, passport pictures, properly duly constituted. So it's not a one-hit wonder organization that you don't know where they are coming from and what they are going to do. So yeah, there's a compliance that has been done, and we'll keep on doing this by renewing our licensing and all of that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Barrister Kasarachi. My next question to you: what protections are in place for investors in case of project delays or unforeseen risks?
Okay, what protections are in place for investors in case of project delays and unforeseen risks, right?
Yes.
So I think, I've had the conversation with the CEO as well sometime within this week. And this is the third time this program is coming up. It's been going on for different Saturdays. Different people have been joining. So one of the things that we are working on, with the company is also working on, or the organization is working on, is to ensure that first of all there is a bond, like a fixed the interest, the 30% interest ROI is already a fixed amount that is already deposited with a financial institution. So it's not even an issue of whether the business will go right or wrong. Whether it goes right or wrong, we have already ensured that ROI and locked up in a fixed deposit account. So it doesn't matter whether people pay back, they don't pay back, and all of that. The ROI must be paid back. Secondly, the company is also liquid enough to be able to repay back, investors their funds. So that assurance you can have that there is protection. They are working with banks, working with financial institutions. Money is not going to anybody's personal account, or there is a structure. And the risks now, the question against risks is this: there is everybody, like the earlier speakers have mentioned, there is a due diligence that is conducted on anybody that registered for this program. the subscribers for the solar system must be working class citizens, must get a credit report from credit agencies in Nigeria. So you are not owing any bank, you're not owing any financial institution. Even if you're owing, you don't have a bad debt. Do you understand? And there is a minimum salary expectation you must have. And there is a percentage you must pay in advance. I think between somewhere around 30 to 60% deposit that must be put in before we can now complete your funds with our own funds, and then you begin to spread the payment. And it is a direct debit, like they have explained as well. So, and your organization will be made to know that you have taken part in this thing. So there's a direct deduction. So in the event that you are, for example, changing jobs or resigning or some terminating job, we need to be notified as well, so that we can restructure the payment plan into your next organization or know what your plans are, and they also have the right to, pay off, in advance if they wish to. But the risks are very, very minimal. And that's why we are not going with so many homes at first. We are going with, we are still starting with tens of numbers before hundreds and then thousands to mitigate stories. So the organization is not in a hurry to, just go out there and start making. No, it's an organic growth system, and again, because Nigeria's system, we are not really used to this kind of project finance model. So, some people still find it difficult. But if it is in the Western world, it's very normal. This is how people build houses, buy cars. These systems are put in place, buy phones, buy gadgets, and all of that. So we are doing the minimal risk possible to avoid stories that touch. You are not it's not a gambling or a quick fix or get rich quick system that we're trying to do here. Is something that compliance will be done, due diligence will be done, and minimal risk should appear on the papers of the company. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Barrister Kasarachi. Okay, my next question, from previous meetings we've had, a lot of people raise concerns as to regarding loan defaulters and all of that, and we can understand why. So I want to ask, what does the asset recovery process work, or rather, how does it work for loan defaulters, and what legal measures are in place in such situations?
Okay, just like I've said, first, the first way to prevent a loan a loan subscriber from defaulting is to ensure that you only offer loans to people who are creditworthy. So there must be watertight due diligence before you qualify. This first and foremost, your salary minimum, there's a minimum salary allowable for this, because we'll be equating your salary to the funds to the cost of the solar gadgets, and then spread across the 12 months payment plan. So if, for example, I'm just using numbers, let's say it costs 100,000 to set up a solar, and then your salary is about just 5,000 naira. We know it will take you a couple of months before you pay that. So you are not already qualified for that branch. So we are looking for people who, for example, their salary is, say, 30,000 monthly, and they are willing to drop, say, 40,000, for a start deposit. And then for the rest of the 12 months, for the balance of 60,000 that makes up the 100,000 naira solar, every single month they are willing to pay, let's say, 5,000, or they are willing to pay, so you will look at you and say, oh, if your salary is 30,000 and we deduct 5,000, it's something that is doable, right? So we are really, it's not for everybody now, for now, yes, it's for a selected few who we are sure have the income, consistent income. So that you will show us previous salary earnings, track record of how many years you've worked in an organization, if it's a private organization, so you're not just a new employee. If it's a government person, we'll find out what's your threshold and spread it. So those, we check your credit, whether you're owing bank, owing this thing, you give us your salary account, statement of account. So these are measures we are going to take to ensure that the subscribers are financially stable people. That's one. Now, in the event that somebody defaults, there is already an agreement signed. So there is an agreement in place before you subscribe, which gives the company the right to be able to give you notice in the event of a default. And after adequate notice has been given to you and you still fail to pay up, the company has a right to recover those gadgets. Yes, the company has that right to recover those gadgets. You know, the way banks can just take over your collateral if you took a loan with a house or something. So the company has, so it's signed and agreed on. And, that is the way the company will be able to recover its funds. And then every payment that has been made initially is also forfeited, as it were, for a default in payment. So it's quite a stringent one that not just anybody will happen. And then there's also a due diligence that is conducted, on the address where the solar panels or the solar system are being, installed, whether it is in the office or at home. We do due diligence, come to the home. It is the company's technicians that install it. And then there is also a tracker put on the devices. A minimum tracker is put on the device that gives it notice. And for those who are doing about 12 months subscription, there is a quarterly inspection where members from the community are allowed to visit to confirm the state, the position, and the workings of that gadget. So you don't have a situation where somebody will just set up something in Otako for you before you know to have moved to Kabanchan with it. No, those things, minimal risk are being taken. So, but in the event that a person, after all these things, the person still finds a way to still owe or get away, we will then commence normal legal procedure for recovery of debt recovery. You garnish the person, their accounts, anywhere they have, money in any bank and all of that, those processes for, that would be like a final resort. But this will not affect investors because, like I said, bonds have been taken to ensure the funds of the investors already. So this will be the internal work, but it's okay because this is something that members know. Some of the people who join the meetings will be interested to be not just investors but members of the society. So they should also know the inner workings of the community on how it's recovered. But I mean, we are not going to be going about sending text messages to relations and family members that this person know that's unprofessional. This will be done through the professional legal channel to recover the funds and take advantage of the GSI, that the global standing order, in the event that you're owing somebody and you have some money somewhere else, the law permits that person who is holding something that you have to use it to pay the person you're owing. Yeah. So I'll keep other ones, but these are the major steps of legal measures we take.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kasarachi, for these very, very insightful responses. You have done a lot of justice in quotes, to all of the questions we have asked. Okay, my last question, I think you've actually shed some lights on it, but just to categorically state, what should potential investors be aware of from a legal standpoint before committing to SolarVest?
What investors should be? What did you say? What potential investors should be aware of from a legal standpoint?
Yes, from a legal standpoint.
Well, I think I've mentioned it already. It's a registered organization. It's registered properly under the Cooperative Societies Acts of Laws of FCT and Nigeria as a whole. The procedure for investment is secured. The funds are insured, and a bond is taken already on it. So there's almost a zero defaults in the payment of return on investment. Members who are going to subscribe to this investment are properly screened. They will get the credit reports by themselves and will verify. Verification of address is there. Everything legal. Installation of the devices by our technicians installation of trackers as well, 247 monitor trackers. And I mean, the credibility of the owners and the founders of the company is something they've been in business for a long time. Though this is just a new angle of the business they're going to. So from the legal side, you can always come in, request for any document, request for the cooperative constitution, the cooperative certificate of registration, who the members are, and there's a monthly report that is given, monthly meetings. Yeah, so any investor has a right. It's a transparent thing. Yeah, so if not that the model we are using is a cooperative model, if we were going to run it as an investment scheme, that's where we would have needed to register with Securities and Exchange Commission. But this is also a work in progress plan for the organization if it will go into those portfolio management. But this, because it is at a cooperative level where the members of the community contribute to it and benefit from it, either by investing or by subscribing to be users of these solar systems. It is something that you can say that the legal framework is quite robust. And of course, if you have a lawyer, you can always also ask the lawyer to advise you on the legality or otherwise of the organization and the activities. Yeah. So that's it from me.
Thank you very much once again. I hope we're all clear on that. This is a recorded meeting, so we'll have the opportunity to listen to this over and over again. So I want to say thank you to all of our speakers. But just before I give room for the general house to air their opinions and ask their questions, I have a question for the team lead, Mr. Edmond. Mr. Edmond, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you.
Thank you. Just very quickly, while Mr. Casachi was speaking, I noted something and I just wanted to address it. So he mentioned the fixed returns, guaranteed returns. So please, can you just shed some light on that?
Okay, thank you very much, Amanda. Just to give more clarity on that, in the bid of trying to guarantee or give investors or partners that confidence of both their funds being secured and the interest being guaranteed, we came up with a model. We came up with a strategy, and we're still looking at implementation. This strategy was to secure, or should I say, set aside a particular fund in a form of fixed deposits. In this case now, we are looking at raising 30 million as a working capital for this phase of SolarVest, of which the maximum return period guarantees about 31.5%, to be precise, 31.5% of the funds. So that brings us to about 9 million naira. So just playing the math out, we intend to separate, or should I say, keep these funds in a fixed deposits. Now, this is not the investors' funds. This is the company's funds. So as to give that form of assurance that whatever happens on the field, your return is safe, your return is secured. This is actually to practice what we aim to achieve in the community, which is not just about making returns or making profits, but also, I would use the word redistributing wealth amongst its members. So I would say this is a project that we could have gone into quietly or within ourselves as a company, but we decided to bring it to members of the community to also partake in it and make returns from it. We also intend to do it in this manner for other forms of investment that we intend to go into in the future. Okay, so this is to expound on it. But once this model or once this system is fully in place, would also notify investors that, okay, we have done this, and you're fully covered on every angle. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Edmond, for that clarification. So we encourage an open discussion. So feel free to ask for clarification, share your concerns, and provide feedback. Okay, we have someone raising his hand. Okay, please, you can go ahead. Thank you.
I'm sorry for the delay. Okay, my name is Victor Chukwemeka, and I actually have a question. So, actually, I'm a solar engineer with at least 5 years plus of experience in dealership with solar materials and solar instruments. So, I would like to know, you become a part of this, should I say, company, or I would like to know how will I go about it, because I'm highly interested in being a part of this company, also being able to gain what it has to offer in future time. So that's my question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chukwemeka. So I'll be passing the mic to Mr. Edmond, the team lead, to address that question.
Thank you very much, Amanda. Thank you, Mr. Chukwemeka. Your question is very direct. It's actually what we hope people would ask us going forward. To become a member of the community is very simple. It's very easy. You either become, like we mentioned initially, a partner, or you want to come in as an off-taker, because this is the only investment program that we have, the only project that we have ongoing, although we intend to introduce more as time goes by. Both the partners or the off-takers are all members of the community. Okay, like we mentioned, the partners stand the chance to become pioneer members too, where their voice will be heard and in decision makings and the likes of them. So to go about this, you could just visit the website www.collabo.ng, or you could actually outrightly reach out to us through our channels stated out here. Either you contact us via email address, or you call our phone number, or very direct, you visit the office currently at Abuja. So that's a channel. Once you do that, we'll guide you on the next step. If you want to become a partner and you have a particular sum you want to invest and how you want to go about the returns, we can help elaborate things and guide you through. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Edmond. Mr. Chukwemeka, are you clear? You need for that. Okay. Does anyone have any other question? Does anyone have any clarification? Any feedback? We would really appreciate. Or if you can't speak out, you can use the chat box, and now we'll read out the question. Oh, Mr. Peter, your mic is unmuted. Do you want to ask anything?
Yeah, I want. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Edmond. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Mr. Peter, your mic is muted, so we can't hear you again.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Sorry, yeah. I wanted to confirm if you've responded to Mr. Chukwuemeka's question. He once sent a question on the platform asking that if he can partner with this development because he's a solar expert, a solar engineer.
Okay, yes. He actually asked verbally, and the team lead has directed him appropriately.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, do we have any other questions? Any other clarification? Just a reminder, you could drop your questions on the chat box and I would read it out. Okay, we have a question from Onini. She's asking, is there a maximum or minimum number of homes we are launching this project with?
Thank you very much, Oni, for your question. Onine, sorry. Thank you, Amanda. So yeah, we are starting off this phase with 10 homes, an average of 10 homes. Like the barrister also mentioned, we look forward to upscaling to 100 and thousands and things like that. But just to work with a safe figure, we're working with 10 homes, all currently situated in Abuja. And though we're looking to expand to 4 other cities by 6 months, in 6 months' time. But for now, we're currently operating or working in servicing this location. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Edmond. I think she's clear on that. We'll soon be drawing the curtains for today's meeting. So, okay, we have another question from Onini. She said, if I decide to withdraw my investment before maturity, are there any implications?
Okay, I would like the financial analyst to answer this. I would like the financial analyst Bernard to answer this, although we have made we've made this very, very flexible by introducing various forms of durations so as to help us. But Bernard, please, can you share more light on this?
Okay, sir. If I got the question correctly, are you asking that if you offer to be a provider of fund, like an investor, and let's say, for instance, you go for a 6 months or a 1 year plan, then before that duration, you offer to take your funds? Is that what you? Okay. So yes, there is going to be There's going to be a form of I'm looking for the correct word to call it. So you know that the funds you've given us, like everybody has said, we're not putting these funds in anybody else's account. In fact, it's not even going to be line idle in the company's account. It's going to go straight to our solar partners, that's Panac Energy, to acquire solar equipment to install for somebody. So you saying you cutting short this the duration by saying you want your money now. Yes, but the should I call it penalty is not going to be on your principal. Let's say you invest a 1 million, for instance, you get your 1 million naira complete. So if let's say the interest due to you as at the day you said you wanted your money back is like 100,000, that is what was due as at that day you said you wanted your money back. Yes, the company will not pay you the 100,000 complete, and this is not just us. It is common to every bank. Or I know for a fact that banks, for instance, if you do a fixed deposit and you call it off before that day, you lose 20% of the accrued interest. So yes, for us also, there's going to be a part of the accrued interest you're going to lose, but your principal is going to be 100% safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bernard, for addressing that question. Okay, yes, Oni is clear. So one last question. Please go ahead. Okay, Oni is asking, when is the deadline to invest for this phase, or is it ongoing?
Okay, thank you very much, Onini, for that important question. Currently, this is the final round for our pre-seed stage funding. We've had previous meetings the first Saturday of this month. Sorry, on the 8th of this month and also the 15th of this month, we had similar meetings. While this is the last, and I and my team decided that we would extend the window of investments, the investment window, for 1 month. So it's going to be open from now till the end of March. The physical installation of this solar system in houses that have gone through the vetting process, both houses and business outlets that have gone through the vetting process, would have their installation carried out on the 1st of April. So this 1 month will give us the time span to accumulate or pull these funds from interested investors, and also conclude every procurement and installation, procurement particularly, of these gadgets and facilities, while we commence installation on the 1st of April. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So, are we taking that as our last question, or does anyone have any other question to ask?
Okay, sorry, I have to mention some things before we go. Like it's stated here on the last slide, we're all seeing, to invest is pretty simple, it's straightforward. You can just reach out to us. You reach out to us via email, our phone number, or you can visit the office, and we'll put you through on the steps to take. But if you're far away, I would encourage that you reach out to us via email or phone number.
That's a phone call, and we'll put you through. And the investment goes to Bitumi Africa, which is the mother company. Okay, so if we're seeing payments bank accounts bearing that name, it shouldn't be confusing. Collabo.ng is a product of Bitumi Africa. Collabo.ng is just a trademark. We are going through we are trademarking this product, while Bitumi Africa is the company itself. All right. So as a product, it's a community, just in a nutshell, explaining what this is all about. Okay. So like I mentioned initially, just if you have any interest, if you have any you need guide on how to make this investment, you can reach out to us via mail or call our phone numbers, and we're happy to put you through. Thank you.
All right. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your time and interest in Collabo.ng. Like we said, this is more than an investment. It's a chance to be a part of a movement, reshaping access to energy while delivering solid financial returns. So it's like a gift to every Nigerian. You don't want to miss out on this. You could also talk to someone about this, visit our social media handles, and you could also share it with also people that you love. Thank you once again. Have a good night rest, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.